Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back. Chris was going to tell me about how things were like back then.
You see, back in the real estate bubble, there was this man called Frieza. What? If I can get the real details from someone who actually lived the bubble economy, I think I could nail the audition.
The stories of someone like you would help me recreate a true bubble economy persona.
Persona! We should play a Persona game at some point.
So I was telling you this off camera about how Target was doing the buy one, get one.
Yeah.
Half off for games. One of the options was Persona 5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, you could pick up Persona 5. Don't pick up Persona 5. You don't have the attention span for that.
I already have Persona 5.
No, I was saying it's Steph.
Oh.
And she was just like, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they just released Persona 3 Reloaded, and I need to obtain that fucking game.
I know.
But
I literally saw that launch trailer, and I went, yep.
I fucking, I was on YouTube, and there was someone streaming it, and YouTube was just like, hey, Persona 3 Reloaded. And I'm like, holy shit, this game came out, and I was like, I took a look at it, and I'm just like, the game looks so fucking good. I'm like, I need to get this fucking game, man. It's the best Persona game. For anyone who's like, oh, I played Persona 5 and it was good, or even worse, I played Persona 4 and it was good. Get Persona 3, you're missing out on an actually good Persona game.
What I love is, Chris doesn't, deny that Persona 4 was an alright game.
No, Persona 4, I would argue, has some of the best characters. It has the worst story in the entire Persona franchise, outside of maybe 1, because the story of 1 is fucking nonsense.
I just love it. I love it, because Chris is just like, it's not a terrible game.
No.
It's not the best Persona game, which a lot of people argue, though.
The way I break it down is Persona 1. Alright, guys, we need to save the world. Persona 2. Alright, guys, we need to save the world. Persona 3. Alright, guys, we need to save the world. Persona 4. We're gonna solve a murder! Come on, gang! Oh, I guess we're saving the world, too. Persona 5. We need to save the world. This is my problem. That is my problem.
They stumble into it.
They literally... No, that's not even a joke. They find the murderer, and then they find out that the murderer is going to destroy the world, so they have to stop him. They literally stumble ass backwards into victory, and I'm like, I hate this story. It's so stupid.
I don't like that one bit.
It's fucking ass.
I don't like that one bit.
The only thing redeeming about Persona 4 is that the anime exists, and the anime is hilarious.
Oh, I love the anime.
Because they kept all the same voice actors from the game. The problem is that Johnny Young Botch voices the main villain and the hero. Which was fine in the game, because he didn't talk. So in the anime, it's literally just him and himself talking to each other, just conversating on why they should or shouldn't destroy the world. It's like a schizophrenic having a fucking argument about, which is fucking hilarious.
You've told me that, and I forgot that so much.
What makes it even funnier is that it's Johnny Young Botch, who is a former Power Ranger. So it's like, so to me, I just envision it as the Black Power Ranger having an argument with himself over whether or not he should be a villain or not. And it's so funny.
I have to relook up who it was, and I'm like, oh right, it's him. It's Ichigo.
It's Ichigo.
I forgot who it was. Alright, well I see your point, Chris. But why ask me? I know nothing about Persona.
Your parents were probably aware of how things were. At some point, we'll sit down and we'll play through every goddamn Persona game. We'll have a fucking hard time about it the whole way.
Hey man, at least they have dialogue. We won't have to read the entire game.
Oh, Derek. Yeah, so dude, first off, Persona's great, but
you love Persona.
Honestly, after this game, we're gonna be playing Persona Lite. Actually, after this one. But what I wanted to say is...
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if hopefully we'll remember that by the time we get there.
Well, I know, because it's the next long game I want to play. It's on my list for a while. But, no, you think it has voice acting. Every Persona game gives you the illusion of voice acting. All the important cutscenes have voice acting.
Oh,
and then
I forgot about this. Yeah. I forgot about this.
Yeah, every single dialogue is just dialogue. You have to read a billion people's talking about shit. To be fair, the early Persona games, not so bad. There's not that many people to talk to. But, like, the later
No, I
Persona
remember
games
now.
are, like, the ones that are, like, you have to build up, like, side quests with all these people is like, oh, God, there's so much time.
Yeah, I remember. I remember now. I remember why no one remembers IRAM.
Because I can't count higher than 9.
Yep.
Alright.
Well, her parents were a couple of country folk. They never left their town, and they didn't know a thing about disco clubs or the bubble.
Your stupid hipster parents.
Nah, not hipsters, Chris. Country bumpkins.
No, they lived out in the country during the... Oh, no, wait. They lived out in the country during the disco era. No, wait, that was America. America had the hippie problem. I see. Can you really go on to tell me a little more about it, Kiryu-san? Please help me. No.
No, sure.
So no.
I guess I have some time. I don't have any time.
Thank you very much. But I wouldn't even know where to start. What kind of information about the bubble economy would you want? Let's see. Oh, I heard people did some weird stuff to hail a cab. What did they do? Oh, I remember that one. Really?
Yeah.
Cabs were pretty popular back then. People would stay out late partying at the disco club or something, and the cabs were the best way to get back home. I got kind of competitive, so people would...
It got kind of competitive, so people would do interesting things to get the cabbie's attention. Like what?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what we did to hail cabs. Wave
We
$10,000.
ran into the street.
It's the middle one. It's the wave $10,000 yen bills.
But I want to body slam the cabs.
Me too.
We used to flash 10,000 yen bills, about roughly $100 to the cab drivers. How would the cab drivers have seen it? Well, oh, he's doing the animation. Well, we'd hold them in our hands and wave them around like this. What? Is that really what people did?
That's too funny. Back then, cabbies had both the luxury of picking their passengers. If their destination was too close, they'd actually refuse to take the job. So we'd wave $10,000 yen, that's like $100, to encourage them, to incense that we were going far away and willing to pay the drivers. Are you serious? Wow, the bubble economy was interesting.
We used to have these things called payphones, where you would put quarters into a machine to have a call for 30 minutes at a time. You know, as much as I like the aesthetic of payphones, I'm not surprised they went away. You had to pay like a quarter per 30 minutes. Payphones were inexpensive. Like,
yeah, payphones were both a good and bad.
Yeah.
Because like it makes sense having a way of communicate with people. But that would just have sense. You just had to carry around a bunch of coins.
Yeah, like I was just thinking that too, where I was like, you know, even if they didn't like invent cell phones, payphones probably still would have had to like go away anyways, because like who the fuck carries actual change now? You know what I mean?
I know they'd been removing them when we were kids.
Yeah.
And like you still would see them occasionally. And then I was in college, and I went to the store with a buddy of mine, and actually a couple buddy of mine, and we're get in there, and one of my friends, she sees like a landline payphone, and she's just like, holy shit, and she's like, we need a picture of this, and I'm like, is this like the first time you've seen one of these and like ever? And she's like, I've never seen one of these in the wild.
And you're just like, God, I'm old. Yeah, I remember.
The worst part, she's older than us technically.
Really? I remember seeing payphones everywhere when I was
She grew up in another state.
I
don't know if that has any problem
to do with it. I remember there's one phone booth that I remembered so well because I remember the phone booth being there, and then I remember them slowly removing it. First they removed the phone, and then they removed the booth, and then they removed the pole that it was on, and I just remember them like... And now whenever I drive by that spot, I'm like, I remember when there was a payphone there.
Yep.
This is years ago.
Sorry. That was some really good info.
I think that tells me a lot about the lifestyle there. I'm getting tired.
Oh my fucking god, that just came out of nowhere. Then again, I did wake up at like 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, fair enough. That's good.
But I need more. I need more.
I need to know more. Please tell me more about the bubble economy. What kind of clothes did you wear? How big were the penises then? Sure, what else do you want to know?
Let's see. I'm really curious about relationships worked. I'm sure dating was quite different then.
Well, yeah, you had to talk to people in real life. Oh no, wait, I'm thinking your era. This is our era now. Anyways.
Yeah, people still didn't communicate very well back then too.
That was still when people had to call though.
Yeah.
This was before. This is time period. Texting was still like,
Texting
that's a thing you can do.
Yeah, texting has become a thing now.
Yeah, this is before texting because no one wanted to text on the fucking number pad.
Yeah. So texting is now a thing now. When this is set, which is, I think they had the number pad.
No. This is not before. I mean, texting is a thing, but this is before it was popular.
Yeah.
This is before texting was popular. Texting didn't become popular until,
like, as
I would argue,
2008-ish. Yeah, it's like the means of only communication.
Yeah. Maybe 2006, actually.
I think around that, too, yeah. Dating, huh? Thinking back, one of the most popular things guys would do to drive women around in their cars.
True.
You mean, like, they would take their girlfriends places? That sounds pretty normal.
Hey, girl, you want to take a ride in my car? And now all the women nowadays are just like, no, I don't feel like being raped today.
Yep. Guys still take their girlfriends places today, you know?
Yeah, but they weren't girlfriends. No, you see, most of the time they weren't dating yet. Girls would ask guys to drive them around. But most of those guys end up never making it past friends.
What? So men went through the trouble of driving women around, even though they weren't together?
Man, maybe it isn't so different from nowadays, actually, Derek.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially if they had a nice car. A nice car would mean they had money. Yeah. But since everyone had money, men really had to go out of their way to impress their own. You know, he has a kind of a good point here, which I never really thought of, which is just like, having money gets you the girls, but what happens when you all have money? Now it means nothing. Wow, I see. Some men really had to work hard to get girls' attention then.
Now everybody's broke and it's just like, I shouldn't date a loser, but like...
But we're all losers.
But everybody's a loser.
Yes, but we're all losers now.
I want a man who makes 6 figures. Have fun with that, lady.
I want a man who makes 6 figures. How much do you make? I'm unemployed. Alright, anyways.
I'm unemployed and he needs to pay for everything. I'm good.
I'm good, thank you. I know I've brought this up multiple times, but I'm just saying, taking a girl out to dinner and the movies, and then not getting anything, is far more expensive than buying an escort at this point. I think people really need to reconsider their choices.
So, I love when, you know, there's people who I've heard, you know, they're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. One of the people makes more than the other. Yeah. And like, okay.
Pretty normal, yeah.
Yep. But I love it when it's the woman who's, you know, making more, and then you don't ever pay for things. You make more than me.
Yeah, but you should be paying for things. Derek, have you never learned how to please a woman? This isn't... You pay for everything for them, and then they're happy.
I mean, I do that already, but this is not my story that I'm thinking. Yeah. My buddy was telling me this about, you know, some people he knows, and I was like, yep, yeah, that's not fun.
I'm just saying, at this point, you can get an AI girlfriend who's just as annoying and obnoxious as a real girlfriend, but far less maintenance to actually, like, money-wise.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
We just gotta get that Doki Doki Literature Club mod.
I was watching, this video is about, like, this AI girlfriend in Japan that they created, and it was, like, it's like a real girlfriend. Like, if you're home late from work or running late, she'll, like, text you and think you're cheating on her with, like, it'd, like, give you all this hint, and I saw it and I was just like, why would I want that? Like, if I'm buying an AI girlfriend, right, I don't want her to be a real girlfriend. I'm buying her to avoid that.
Yeah, I'm buying her to have someone to unwind and talk to, not to have someone who's going to wind me up.
Yeah, I don't need to get into a fight with a box. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not like we can do certain activities to de-escalate stress.
Like, it's gonna get to the point where I'm gonna end up murdering her because she's gonna be pissing me off, and I'm gonna like unplug her from the wall and like huck her against the wall, and then like. The good news is I don't have to worry about domestic abuse, but the bad news is that, like, that's probably a couple $1,000s I just broke.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I do love this person in the back right corner.
The one who's feeling it?
Yeah.
He's got the full motion.
The motion of the ocean?
The motion of the ocean. Anyways.
What do we call these guys with silly names? I thought I remember hearing it once.
Silly nicknames.
Well, Chris, what do you think the nickname should be?
What was it? Runner Boys?
Doggy Boys?
Doggy Boys?
No. Oh, yeah. They did have a nickname. I knew it.
Hold on. I want to see if I can remember it from the list. Do you remember what it was, Kiryu? It was the name that made fun of them driving women around just because they told them to.
Leg lads? Leg lock lads? Leg knee lads?
I'm guessing leg lads?
It's the top one, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I remember it now. It was leg lads. Yeah, that's it. Leg lads. Why did they call them that?
Because they run around.
Because these women use them as a means of transportation. Kind of like the men were their legs. Oh, I see. But it's a little sad that they just got made fun of when they were trying to do something nice. You're right. Women have lots of nicknames for men back then. They were grub buds, gift guys, and keeper-kin coons.
Keeper-coons.
Men got pretty carried away with all the money they had, but women weren't innocent enough.
Either.
Yeah. If they were the type to get lots of attention, they went overboard too. So the economy was good, and everyone was in high spirits to a fault.
It's amazing how much modern day is exactly like the 80s.
Yeah.
I do find that, like, the older I get, the more I realize the saying, the more things changes, the more they stay the same. It's becoming more and more true.
Oh, dude, I hate it. It's so true.
Like, yeah, everything's changing, but in the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's all the same bullshit. It's just a new coat of the same bullshit.
Yeah.
But that story really helped me understand the Middle Ages of young men and the women they can find time.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'm glad. Yeah. Please tell me more about the bubble economy era. I guess I could tell you about the disco clubs when you were saying you wanted to hear about. Oh, finally. This is the setting of the movie I'm auditioning for. So I'm looking forward to this. Disco clubs are pretty similar to this club, actually. There was the dance floor, off to the side, some VIP rooms. Men and women were practically just dancing and drinking and partying. I see. I've seen old footage on TV and stuff, but I guess the disco clubs weren't so different than today's clubs. Oh, but I did notice something different about the women in the disco club footage I saw.
Yeah, there was a lot more cocaine going around in the 80s.
Yeah, just a little bit. Huh? What's that? Well, the clothes. For one, the women in the footage were wearing really tight dresses, and they were holding some sort of weird thing in their hands.
The fan dancing people. I remember this.
What was up with these dresses? What were those things in their hands?
I remember it because I spent several hours fighting one.
When I read the prompt, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna have Chris have some sort of PTSD
I'm
here.
definitely having PTSD. That was fucking awful. You want to know what's the worst part about that? For every time we did it on the show, I know I brought it up when I actually did it on the show when we played Yakuza 0. I literally sat down to do the fangirl mission. I was like, I'm just gonna do it off camera.
Yeah,
How many
you
runs
started it off camera.
I sat down, beat it first try. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
and then I came over.
Yep.
And Chris went, yeah, I beat it.
Yeah, I beat it.
Off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, sweet. How long did it take you? First try.
First try. Took me literally 5 minutes.
And I think you did it like the night before.
Yeah, I did it the night before. And I left my PlayStation on the entire time so we could record right where the dialogue started.
Yeah. Yeah. You were so pissed.
I was pissed. I was like...
You were so relieved it was done.
Yeah.
But so pissed.
If you took all the episodes of us just doing disco, it had to have been like 20 episodes of us attempting disco. Like, and ridiculous. Anyways, old dresses and an item in their hands. The way disco woman dressed.
What were they wearing? What were they holding?
Sailor dress.
A katana, a leotard and a ribbon, a bodycon dress, and a fan. It's that
I would watch this anime.
I would watch that anime too.
Oh, I remember now. They were wearing bodycon dresses
and holding fans. Bodycon dress. Yeah. It's shot for body constitution?
Body
consciousness.
Consciousness.
I think. It was a trend around the time to show off their bodies and hold a fan while dancing. To be proud of your body, I think is what it was.
I have tits and hips. Anyways.
Oh, pretty much. I think these fans were just called feather fans.
I think these fans were just called fans.
Oh, I've never heard of that before. Huh. I guess that's what happens, the trends. I want to wear one in my audition. Kiryu-san, do you happen to have one? What? Why on earth would I have one?
Have one of those.
I suppose that's true. I would have loved to have one for my audition to recreate the era. A bodycon dress and a feather fan in my hand.
You know what's funny about that, though?
What?
Kiryu does have one. She gives you one for completing the mission, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she gives you a fan for a mission as an item.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
What happened? If you happen to find these, would you mind bringing them to me? What? Why on earth would I go your shopping for you? Please, I beg you. I'm not saying it needs to happen for sure. But if you find them, I'd love to try them on. That's all. Fine. Who knows if I can get a hold of any of those. So I can't guarantee I'll come back. I'm never returning.
I understand. Thank you.
How did I get roped into this? Oh well. He's just being a leg boy. Leg lad.
Leg lad.
I guess I'll find them somewhere. I can bring them back to her. How? Now that I think about it. Did I see one of those out at...
Don Quajik.
It's this place.
Is that here? The one that's super... Okay, so here's how I know that it was in the previous game. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get it, and the item is going to be this pink frilly fan. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be pink, it's gonna be a fan, and it's to, it's gonna have like a little bit of a tassel string at the bottom of it too. Mm-hmm. And I remember immediately, and I remember it super well because I spent 8 hours doing disco.
Oh yeah, you had a good time with that,
so
man.
I know exactly.
Oh, we have a couple minutes. Let's just do it.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Time though, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got like a minute.
I'm gonna take a taxi.
I'm gonna make my way downtown.
Making my way.
Anyway, so in the next episode, we'll fight Majima. We'll see you then. Peace.